Hello. Welcome to Skillify English. I'm John.
And I'm Neha. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Today's episode is going to be so much fun. We're talking about one of my favorite topics in the whole world, travel and vacations.
Oh, same here. Just thinking about travel makes me feel excited. It's like a mini adventure, right?
Exactly. And today, we're going to take you on a mini vacation through this podcast. So grab your headphones, get comfortable. Maybe imagine you're sitting on a plane or a train right now, and let's dive in.
Before we start, I want to say something important. This podcast is for learners, so we're going to speak clearly and use simple words, but we also want it to feel natural, like two friends chatting.
Right. So if you don't understand everything the first time, that's totally okay. You can listen again. The goal is to enjoy the conversation and pick up new words along the way.
Perfect. So, John, let me start with a big question for you.
Uh-oh, I'm ready.
Are you a beach person or a mountain person?
Oh, that's a tough one. But I have to say, I'm definitely a beach person.
Really? I'm the complete opposite. I'm a mountain person all the way.
Okay, let's talk about this. I think this is one of the most classic travel debates ever. Beach versus mountains. So listeners, think about it too. Which one are you?
All right, John, tell me why you love the beach so much.
Where do I even start? First of all, the beach is relaxing. You can lie on the sand, feel the warm sun on your skin, and listen to the sound of the waves. It's so peaceful.
But it's also hot and sweaty, and there's sand everywhere, in your shoes, in your bag, in your food.
Okay, fair point. But that's part of the charm. The beach is about letting go. You don't need to plan anything. You just show up, find a good spot, and relax. Maybe you read a book, maybe you swim in the ocean, maybe you try some fresh seafood at a little beach cafe.
I'll give you that. The seafood is amazing at the beach. But for me, mountains are way better. The air is so fresh and cool. You can go hiking, explore nature, see waterfalls and wild animals. It feels like you're really connecting with the earth.
That's true. Mountains are beautiful, but they're also a lot of work. You have to hike uphill, you get tired, your legs hurt. At the beach, you can just sit and enjoy.
But that's why mountains are exciting. You feel alive when you're climbing a trail. And when you reach the top and see that amazing view, it's so worth it. You feel proud of yourself.
I do love that feeling. Okay, I'll admit, mountain sunrises are pretty magical. I remember once I woke up super early in the mountains and I watched the sun come up over the peaks. The sky turned pink and gold. It was breathtaking.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Breathtaking. That's a great word, by the way. We'll talk more about words like that later.
But Neha, let me ask you this. When you think of vacation, do you want to work hard and sweat on a mountain trail? Or do you want to relax with a cold drink in your hand, watching the sunset over the ocean?
Okay, when you put it that way, the beach does sound nice. But honestly, I think it depends on my mood. Sometimes I want adventure, sometimes I want to relax.
Exactly. And that's the thing about travel. There's no right or wrong answer. Some people love the beach, some people love the mountains, some people love cities or deserts or forests. The important thing is to go somewhere that makes you happy.
I love that. And you know what? We don't just travel to relax or have fun. We travel for deeper reasons too.
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about the why of travel. Why do we travel?
Well, one reason is to break our routine. Most of us do the same things every day. We wake up, go to work or school, come home, eat dinner, sleep. It's very predictable.
And there's nothing wrong with routine, but sometimes we need a change. We need to see new places, try new things, meet new people. It makes us feel alive again.
Exactly. Travel gives us that feeling of, wow, the world is so big and interesting. It reminds us that there's more to life than just our daily schedule.
And let's be honest, it's also really fun to take photos and share them. But it's not just about getting likes on social media. It's about making memories.
Right. When you're 80 years old, you're not going to remember all the days you spent at home watching TV, but you will remember that time you went to Thailand and ate spicy street food, or that time you got lost in Paris and a kind stranger helped you.
Oh, speaking of getting lost, I have a story about that.
Oh no, is this a travel fail story?
It absolutely is, and it's pretty embarrassing.
Okay, I need to hear this. Go ahead.
So, a few years ago, I was traveling in Italy. Beautiful country, amazing food, everything was perfect. I was in Rome, and I wanted to visit the Colosseum.
Classic tourist activity.
Exactly. So, I got on the metro, the subway system. I thought I knew where I was going. I didn't speak much Italian, but I had a map on my phone.
Okay, so far so good.
Well, I got on the wrong train. I was supposed to go east, but I went west, and I didn't realize it for like 20 minutes. I was looking at my phone, and suddenly I noticed that I was going in the completely wrong direction.
Oh no.
So I got off the train, feeling confused, and then I tried to ask someone for help. I wanted to say, "Where is the Colosseum?" in Italian, but I didn't know the right words, so I just said, "Colosseo?" and pointed at my map.
That's actually pretty smart.
Well, it worked. The person was very nice and helped me get on the right train. But here's the funny part. Later that day, I tried to order food at a restaurant. I wanted to say, "I would like some water, please." But instead, I accidentally said, "Io voglio dormire," which means, "I want to sleep."
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. What did the waiter say?
He looked at me like I was crazy. Then he started laughing and brought me some water anyway. I was so embarrassed, but looking back, it's a great memory. It's one of those moments that makes travel so human and real.
I love that story. And honestly, those mistakes are part of the fun. You learn from them, and they make great stories later.
Exactly. Neha, do you have a favorite travel memory? Maybe not a fail, but like a magical moment.
Oh, I do. So I was in India a couple of years ago, visiting my family, and one evening I was in a small town in the mountains. It was a little place called Shimla.
I've heard of that. It's supposed to be beautiful.
It is. So I was walking alone in the evening, just exploring. The sun was setting and the whole sky turned orange and purple. The air was cool and breezy. I could smell pine trees and wood smoke from people's homes.
That sounds so peaceful.
It was. And then I found this tiny little cafe on a hill. It was so charming, with wooden chairs and colorful lights hanging outside. I ordered a cup of chai, which is spiced tea, and I just sat there watching the sunset.
That sounds perfect.
It really was. And while I was sitting there, an old man came and sat at the table next to me. He didn't speak much English, and I don't speak his local language very well, but he smiled at me and said, "Beautiful, no?" And I said, "Yes, very beautiful." And we just sat there together, quietly, watching the sky change colors.
Wow, that's such a simple moment, but it sounds really special.
It was. I think that's what travel is about. Those little moments where you feel connected to a place, to nature, to other people. You don't need anything fancy, just a cup of tea, a beautiful view, and an open heart.
I love that, Neha. That's a great reminder that travel doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. It's about the experience.
Exactly. And speaking of experiences, let's talk about how to describe them better. Because I know a lot of English learners say things like, "the trip was good," or "the food was nice." And those words are fine, but they're boring.
Right. Let's learn some better adjectives. If you want to say that a place was really beautiful, you can say it was breathtaking.
Or if you want to say a town was cute and interesting, you can say it was charming.
If a city has a lot of people and activity, you can say it was bustling.
And if you want to describe a quiet, relaxing place, you can say it was peaceful or tranquil.
If the food was really, really good, you can say it was delicious or even mouth-watering.
And if a place is old and has a lot of history, you can say it's historic or ancient.
These words make your description so much more colorful and interesting. Instead of saying, I went to Paris and it was nice, you can say, I went to Paris and it was charming and bustling with amazing mouth-watering food.
See? That sounds so much better. Now, before we continue, let's talk about some useful travel phrases. These are things you might say at the airport or at a hotel.
Good idea. So at the airport, when you arrive, you need to check in. You might say, I'd like to check in for my flight, please.
And if you want to choose where you sit on the plane, you can ask for a window seat or an aisle seat.
A window seat is next to the window so you can see outside. An aisle seat is next to the walkway so you can get up more easily.
Right. And when you pack your bags, you'll have a carry-on bag, which is the small bag you take on the plane with you, and you'll have checked luggage, which is the big suitcase that goes under the plane.
At the hotel, you also need to check in. You might say, I have a reservation under the name John Smith.
And if you want to go visit famous places in the city, you can say, I'm going sightseeing today.
Another useful word is itinerary. That's your travel plan. For example, my itinerary includes visiting the museum, eating at a local restaurant, and then going to the beach.
Perfect. Those are really useful phrases. Now, let's slow down a little bit and do something we call the word tour. This is where we pick some important words and phrases from today's episode and explain them really clearly.
Great. Let's start with itinerary. We just mentioned this one. An itinerary is your travel plan. It's a list of all the places you want to go and things you want to do. For example, I made an itinerary for my vacation in Spain. On Monday, I'll visit Barcelona. On Tuesday, I'll go to Madrid.
Next word, jet lag. This is the tired, confused feeling you get when you travel to a different time zone. Your body is still on the old time, so you feel sleepy at weird times. For example, after my flight from New York to Tokyo, I had terrible jet lag. I was awake all night.
Here's a good one, souvenir. A souvenir is something you buy to remember your trip. It could be a postcard, a magnet, a t-shirt, anything. For example, I bought a souvenir keychain from Paris to remember my trip.
How about off the beaten path? This is a phrase that means a place that's not very touristy. It's more hidden and special. For example, I don't want to visit the crowded tourist spots. I want to find something off the beaten path.
Love that phrase. Next, local cuisine. This means the traditional food from a specific place. For example, when I'm in Mexico, I always try the local cuisine. Tacos, tamales, fresh guacamole.
Yum. Okay, next word, staycation. This is a funny word. It means a vacation where you stay at home or close to home. You don't travel far. For example, I didn't have much money this year, so I had a staycation. I explored my own city like a tourist.
That's a great way to save money and still have fun. Next word is wanderlust. This is the strong desire to travel and explore the world. For example, every time I see travel photos, I feel wanderlust. I just want to pack my bags and go somewhere new.
And finally, let's talk about bucket list. A bucket list is a list of things you want to do before you die. Many people have travel destinations on their bucket list. For example, visiting the Great Wall of China is on my bucket list.
These are all such useful words. If you're listening and you want to practice, try using these words in your own sentences. Write them down. Say them out loud. Use them in conversation.
Absolutely. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel.
You know, Neha, I think we should mention something important. Not everyone can afford to travel internationally. Not everyone has the time or money, and that's okay.
Yes, travel is wonderful, but you don't need to go far to have an adventure. You can explore your own city, visit a nearby town, or even just try a new restaurant in your neighborhood.
Exactly. Travel is really about curiosity and openness. It's about being willing to try new things and see the world with fresh eyes.
And you can practice English by watching travel videos, reading travel blogs, or even talking to international friends online. You're learning right now just by listening to this podcast.
That's a great point. Every step counts.
So before we finish today, we want to ask you, our listeners, a question.
If you could fly anywhere tomorrow for free, where would you go?
Think about it. Close your eyes and imagine. What place makes your heart feel excited? Is it a beach in Thailand, a mountain in Switzerland, a busy city like New York or Tokyo, a peaceful village in the countryside?
There's no wrong answer. Just think about what sounds amazing to you.
And if you want, you can write your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, my friends, that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this little journey.
We hope you learned some new words, heard some fun stories, and maybe felt a little bit of wanderlust.
Remember, English is a journey, not a destination. Keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep enjoying the process.
Until next time, happy travels and happy learning.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.